Stop. History happens all around us. 4 babies are born and 2 people will die in 1 second, and the odds are they were someone important, or they will one day grow up to be one. There's an average of 140 violent crimes committed per day. The world is too busy. Have you ever wanted things to just slow down for a second? April 11th, 1954. The most boring day ever. William Tunstall Padot created a search engine entitled True Knowledge. It's a database with over 300 million facts on record, filled with the history of the last 110 years. There were over 5 multinational wars, 17 United States presidents, and yet April 11th, 1954 stood out as the answer to the question, what was the most boring day in history? An election was held in Belgium, a Turkish scholar was born, and Jack Shufflebotham died. While it wasn't a day where nothing happened, it was certainly a day in which there were no rippling effects that anyone will remember nor care enough about today. NPR tested this theory, stating in a 2010 article, "We do have to admit that searches of other databases, like HistoryOb.com and the Library of Congress's website, don't turn up much of interest for that day of question." Others, such as those at the Los Angeles Times blog, contest the argument that it was the most boring day ever, citing newspaper clippings of a reported Los Angeles murder-suicide, a deadly car accident, a gang attack that injured 4 sailors, a television antenna killing a man, and a 2-headed baby recovering from pneumonia. It's not every day that nothing happens, no matter how insignificant. Imagine flipping to Channel 5 for them to say that they have no news. While it is interesting that there was nothing all that newsworthy to broadcast, the day wasn't completely empty of news, so let's dive into what actually happened on April 11th, 1954. As mentioned previously, there were 8 noteworthy events, but can we go deeper? Well, the cover of the New York Post were 2 police officers at a juvenile delinquency conference, so there's nothing all that exciting over there. Other than that, Raymond Impanis won the 52nd Paris-Roubaix cycling race, and the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Champion. What? Well, that started. It appears that no matter how you look at it, April 11th was truly a day of nothingness. Personally, I do not think that there will ever be a most boring day again, and as a matter of fact, I believe the whole concept is flawed. April 11th, 1954 was a rather boring day, but is it the most boring day of the 20th century? It's all subjective. Do you care about the death of a football player, or an election that happened 67 years ago? Probably not. So in retrospective, yeah, it's a boring day, but it was bound to be exciting, or depressing, for someone, and regardless of whether or not you think it's boring, you've got to admit that it's pretty interesting that it will go down as the most boring day in recent history.